implicated in carcinogenesis induced bladder carcinoma could be established only by him for the first time. So that is a great achievement. Till today, he has a total of around 11,033 citations with a H factor of 53 and I10 factor of 157. He had received various extramural research grants from several national and state agencies like ICMR, PBT, DST, UGC, MHRD, CST, UP, and others. He has also received the Ernst Hanbury Hankin Lifetime Achievement Award from the Society of Bacteriophage Research and Therapy in year 2021. Dr. P.N. Chutani Oration Award by the National Academy of Medical Sciences in year 2019. Dr. U.C. Chaturvedi Oration Award by IAMM UP UK chapter in year 2017. Fellow of National Academy of Medical Sciences in year 2016 and many more. He has been widely applauded for delivering didactic lectures of more than around 37 nationwide and various platforms. He has also got the opportunity to visit Sydney Chimeral Cancer Center, San Diego, and US as visiting professor in 2004. Dr. Nag is a member of selection committee of various prestigious institutions like International King Faisal Award in Biology South Arabia in 2016. So with these words, I request Professor Nag to deliver his talk. Thank you.
कॉलर माइक कर दो.
Hello, am I audible? So, thank you very much for the kind presentation.
उसको तो बोले सिस्टम से बड़ी बहुत सारा हल्के ही बोलेंगे. उसको नीचे से बोलो 100% कर दो.
So, although the guidance written is alternatives to the antibiotics, but this presentation I gave at Chennai conference 3 days ago, so I am just repeating that same. So, this is BHU campus, you might have seen.
सर वहाँ से वॉल्यूम फुल कर दो नीचे सिस्टम से करता है यार. सुभाष सिस्टम से वो फुल कर दे. नहीं आई सर. सर बहुत हल्के बोल रहे हैं. हाँ अब ठीक अब बड़ा.
So I spoke there on this topic, our clinical experience with vector-based therapy in India. This is basically the alternative to the antibiotics. So for the UGs and also for the PhD students, I used to take a class on the mechanism of action of the antibiotics. So I give the mnemonics for this. You can see this is the bacterial cell wall, and this is the formula coming up. Cell wall is inhibited. This one, cell wall is inhibited by beta lactams. So C stands for carbapenems and cyclosporine. W just transforming to V, this becomes vancomycin, and new drug dalbavancin is there. Then I is for the isoniazid, the antibiotic for the mycobacteria, and and then delamanid is a new one added to the same group. They inhibited, they are not antibiotics, but they are the inhibitors of the beta-lactamase enzyme. They are the clavulanic acid, sulbactam, tazobactam. B is bacitracin, and this B is the beta-lactams, basically penicillins and cephalosporins. So broader group is there in the beta-lactam group, and then E is pyrothionamide and influenza. And then the next is the cytoplasmic membrane, this black one, the thin one, cytoplasmic membrane, which very much resembles to the eukaryotic cells, our cells, cell membrane also. So this cytoplasmic membrane is inhibited by tri-pol. Tri is triazoles, you know, basically antifungal. Polymines, this is also antifungal. Polymyxin B and polymyxin E, alcoholistine. These two are the last resort of the most of the say NDR bacteria. And then we are still failing against this one nowadays. So there are many strains. I know in Klebsiella pneumoniae recently we have done it. 15.5% of the Klebsiella pneumoniae strains from clinical environment are resistant to this in our state. So this is basically the two of the work. Then the next is the protein synthesis is inhibited at CMC Ludhiana. I have taken that one, which is not written here. Protein synthesis is inhibited at this level. There are 30S and 60S. So this AT is aminoglycosides and T is tetracycline including TS. So they are acting as 30S, the small subunit of the ribosome. And then the larger one there is the chloromphenical macrolides. You know the distromycin, all these drugs are there. Chloromphenical and clindamycin and limpomycin. This one is Queen Mary act on DNA. Q is quinolone, very common drug, ciprofloxacin. So many toxins are there. M is metronidazole and act is actinomycin. R square acts on RNA. RRR, 3Q. R is rifampicin and this R is rifampicin. So if you just recall it, it becomes very easy to that which antibiotic acts there. There are a number of antibiotics there. The last one is the anti-metabolites are taken PBS. When we prescribe any prescription for the patient, we sometimes write down 1 PBS. Wherein diacetendone, thrice daily. So this T is called the tribulcopril, D is dapsone. The main key drug for the treatment of leprosy, and S is sulfonamide. Combination of sulfonamide and the tribulcopril is the phdadmission. So again I am repeating, antibiotics which are working on the cell wall, antibiotics acting on the cell membrane, antibiotics acting on the protein synthetic machinery, antibiotics acting on DNA, antibiotics acting on RNA, and last is the antimetabolites, which are the basic building stone of the cell wall is being synthesized there in the cytoplasm, and on that this basic treats the trimethoprim damage cycle. So this is the whole antibiotic, and as I told you in the examination session, that these antibiotics basically has derived from the natural process of killing or fighting with one microbe to another. So we have just exploited that system for the benefit of the human being or for any infection to the human veterinary or poultry area. So this is the basic process we are doing. So now you know the first time antibiotics were invented in. Penicillin was invented in 1928. It first time came to the clinical practice in 1940. And then in the 1941 there was a report that penicillin, there is penicillinase producing characteristics. So today you introduce the antibiotic, next day you will get the antibiotic resistance. Because this is already in the nature. They are all heritage. So we recently concluded one PhD thesis on Klebsiella pneumoniae, and we collected 100 strains from the environment and 100 strains from the clinical sources. And from the clinical sources, I think almost all were MDR, while and then some of the clinical isolates were having a resistance against 8, 9 antibacterial agents. While in case of environmental only 1 or 2. So it is said that the Klebsiella pneumoniae is basically bacteria of the sewer water or water system, not primarily is the commensal of the human gut. but it can survive in the human gut and they can also multiply in the sewer. So what is happening? These resistant variety of the bacteria, they are coming sometimes to the human gut and we are having already antibiotic pressure in their clinical situation. So they are simply accumulating 9, 10, 12 different antibiotic resistance genes in a plasma. Usually they are located on plasma. So chromosomal few of the beta lactamase producing strains are there which are genomically determined, but majority are there. So this Klebsiella pneumoniae actually are such type of bacteria like bacteria, environmental bacteria, they act as a shutter. So they are bringing different kinds of antibiotic molecules from the environment to the human gut. And where if you are giving the selection pressure in the clinical environment, then all the antibiotic molecules placed in molecules are just and they are becoming superbug. So this is the situation which is happening. So you see where we introduced and by the 1980, majority of the antibiotic molecules were invented and came into practice. After that, there are only few molecules, new molecules have been added. And it takes around 20 years after the invention of new molecules from the nature to come to the clinical practice. This is why they are putting so high cost of it. Because you have to pass through preclinical, then phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 clinical trials, then the regulatory bodies are approving, and then you are using it. So this is the issue, and then bad bugs need new drugs. Do we have the new drugs? We don't. That's why we have to think something else. So Dr. Koina told in the morning that we are working on the antibiotic resistance data accumulation. So by simply reporting that this bacteria is resistant to this is the gene responsible for this MBL gene and this that, you just simplify and you just demonstrate on the gel picture that this bacteria is having the this is having the ALSA 24, ALSA 48 like it. It is immaterial. There are, I can say thousands of the publications getting on this. So is this the answer to the problem? So we, the microbiologists, is supposed to find out the answers, not only simply narrating the problems. So this is why we are working, this is why we are in the research. And the people, one thing I say usually, that it is the medical institutions who will be doing research. It's not the private practitioners sitting in the city or in the villages. It's not the PMS doctor who is going to do this. And it is not a corporate hospital usually that they are indulged in practice, because this may not be making profit. So who will be doing? The research scientists and the teachers working in the medical institutions, and especially the medical teachers should do it, because we are having the wider vision of these problems and we can just find out that what can be done. Basic scientist has got certain limitations. They can go up to the molecule, they can dig out up to there, but it is very difficult that they're thinking all the aspects of their application. So it is we that we should do. So we think, and I remember one of the surgeons in 1966 declared that now we have got so many antibiotic molecules, the war against the microbes have been won and there is no need, any need of the microbiology. But what is today in 2023? So we cannot win the war. We think that we are very intelligent genius, we are going to have the, what is called as AI, artificial intelligence, AI, nothing will happen. Nature is always winning over us, and bacteria, we think that they are small, invisible things, but bacteria are a lot smarter. So bacteria are a lot smarter than the human being, and the viruses are even a lot smarter than the bacteria. So bacteria are a lot smarter in quick and complex decision making than we believe. The fact is that the viruses are even smarter than the bacteria because they have got the higher replication power. So what is the definition of superbug? You can read it. Then this child is thinking that if nature God has given that every node has got this. And this was said by Gautam Buddha also. What he said, the gist of his whole tapasya was that कि दुनिया में दुख है, दुख तो अगर दुख है तो दुख का कारण भी है। फिर अगला कहते हैं कि दुख का अगर कारण है तो उसका निवारण भी है। तो आप निवारण करो। निवारण के दो तरीके हैं। एक तो यह है कि either you are fighting, fight and flight. So you can fight or you can run away. You know that the crocodile will engulf me, then you run away. Not to fight with this one, but you are sure that you can kill the crocodile when you fight. So this is the way of निवारण. दुख है, दुख का कारण है, दुख का कारण है तो कारण का निवारण है. And we, the scientists sitting here, find out the reason for the different problems. So the alternatives are antimicrobial peptides. And you can see that these facilitate the interaction with negatively charged membrane and their mode of action involves the cell membrane of the plant. As the polyene compounds were the antibiotics acting on the cell membrane. The same thing is being done by the antimicrobial which are normally found in this application. So people are working on these peptides. Bacteriocin, we have heard a lot about the bacteriocin. And it is said that this may be the defective files. Bacteriocins are basically defective cases. The only tail end is there, if you realize. Another is probiotic, exactly not antibiotics. But they can modify your gut microbiome. And it definitely does. But they are going to benefit you indirectly, not directly. So sometimes probiotics are really very useful. And prebiotics. Prebiotics are the compound in food that induce the growth or activity of beneficial microbes such as bacteria and fungi in the gut. So prebiotics are also very important. Ayurveda basically depends on ahar, vihar, vichar. And ahar is very important. If you take the milk and milk product only for 1 month, you will feel your thinking process, your performance process is different. If you are going to take for 1 month continuously chicken and chicken products, nothing else, your body language will be different. It is definitely there because the metabolites which are coming out of the all process in the gut fermenter, they are going to your circulation and diet. So this is the prebiotic, they can do this. So bacteriophages, where we are here today, they are bacteria eating viruses. In the nature, in the morning, I explained that why they are there. If they are not there, then what is going to happen? It will be disaster, and basically they are helping us by all the means. And they should not be dangerous to us, as the regulatory bodies are telling that they are all the time causing problems. It's not true. But we have to convince, this is why I invited you people, that to be my advocate. You tell me, one day again I will be having another workshop. I first time made that Society of Bacteriophage Research and Therapy. Society for Bacteriophage Research and Therapy with this invention only. In 2017, I held a conference international level, and after that in 2018 we made this body, and now it is flourishing like anything. In Chennai conference there were more than 250 registrations, 250 of them. And there were 7 foreign speakers and 7 other foreign attendees were. So now the Poland scientists were telling that you are nice under this banner in our country. Then I opposed the general body that why should we go? We ourselves is a big country. We ourselves are the sufficient efficient country. Why should we go to the Poland, a small country like Pondicherry? So this is the bacteriophage at glance. You might be knowing about the history of the bacteriophage invention. Have you heard the name of Henkin? How many of you have not heard the name of it? No? So Should I tell this story? So he was a British doctor working here in British India, in the eastern India, that time of Bengal. Bengal and which province, some province here. So he observed that whenever there is the outbreak of the cholera, the people who are taking the river water, drinking water of the Ganga and Yamuna, they are having the less severity or less morbidity and mortality than the people who are taking the well water. So he concludes that there is something smaller than the bacteria and is killing the colony bacteria. So he experimented. He grew the Vibrio cholerae in test tubes and he filtered the water, he made the bacteria free, the river water and the well water, and he found that the river water definitely reducing the number of Vibrio cholerae. So by this way, he proposed that there is something bactericidal in the river water but not in the well water. So the opposite camp told, the opposition is always there, that this may be an enzyme which is weak level. Because at that time there was no electron microscope. Electron microscope became functional in which year?
After Second World War.
1932. So before 1932, nobody was believing that there are live entities smaller than the bacteria. And when the compound microscope came in, it was around 1860, 1885 when we could believe that there are bacteria. Otherwise, before that, we were not believing bacteria. So when I take the class in the common population, I used to tell a story that who we are. So you'll be proud of that. I will be taking the same story. And for this, I will be telling you. So I told you that Ayurvedic people say that many of my friends are the Ayurvedic professors. So I asked, I think 20 years ago, that let me know that what is your concept about the bacteria and viruses in Ayurveda. They said that we don't know beyond Krimi. A Krimi is what? The adult form of the roundworm coming out through ubiquitous orifices, or the segments of the cestodes coming out. So that is their concept. Beyond that they don't know because they were never using any magnification system. Then I told that, is there any concept of this? They said that whatever is invisible, we say that they are bhutas and pretas. भूत प्रेत समझ में आ गया? अंधेरे से डर के भागते हैं, जो दिखता नहीं है तो उसका भूत और प्रेत. So they say that they are bhutas and pretas, not visible to the naked eye, but they can harm us. Then I got my point that we are the people sitting here in the hall. We are experts of the bhutas and pretas. We can see them, which the common man is invisible for them, and we are having the treatment for them. So many modalities to take care of. So what we are then? Tantric, Ujhaj, and Sokhas. So we are all sitting here, we are tantrics. And why tantrics? Because we are having a lot of yants with us. Yantric and tantric both. We have got the ELISA system to detect the individual body. We have the microscope. We have got electron microscope. We have got the PCR patient. We can say that this patient is suffering from coronavirus and this patient is suffering from the streptococcus. Common man cannot say. That's why those we are able to identify all the bhutas and pretas, including HIV virus. And then we could know that what should be done to prevent them and what can be done to eradicate them or kill them. So this is what we are doing here. And we are just trying to find out. This is the definition of the microbiology. And we are sitting, and why we are sitting here? That I am one of the tantric, Acharya tantric. And then I am just trying to transmit my information to you people so that you are going and practicing in your community. This is the basic objective of this workshop. So, you know, this story goes like this. So after this, there was no antibiotics before 1940 being used. So the bacteriophage flourished like anything, that research. When the antibiotics came in, because it was broad spectrum of activity and microbiology was not so evolved that we are able to isolate each and every bacteria in isolated pure form. So only bacteria is there, we are unable to decide whether Enterococcus faecalis, Enterobacter or E. coli. So the fact is that the bacteriophages are strain specific, not even species specific. species we have given, nature God says they may be, suppose the E. coli is there in our gut, and if you just do the ERIC PCR and differentiate these E. coli from the same individual's gut, maybe E. coli of your own gut may be 100 different types. For our convenience, we have named them E. coli. It is not the nature who has named them this way. That's why the bacteriophages are basically strain specific. So if you give one bacteriophage and thinking that all E. coli will be killed, it's not possible. This was the reason of the failure of the bacteriophage therapy in 1994. Now the broad spectrum antibiotic came in. तो हनुमान जी के संजीवनी बूटी के पहाड़ की तरह लेके आ गए, पूरा इसमें से निकाल लो, तो आप दे दिए और सभी किल हो गए, तो इससे आसान क्या हो सकता है? So that was being practiced. But now this is failing, so again we came back for the bacterial research. So this is the process which we showed you in the